Hey everyone, and welcome to the first game of the Strat B.A.T.S double elimination tournament. This is going to feature the number 1 seed New York Yankees taking on the number 16 seed Chicago Cubs. I've got the lineups right there in front of you, and the years next to the players are the year of the card that I have pulled. This is going to be played in basic only because obviously some of the older seasons like 1927 I don't have in advanced or super advanced, so it has to be done in the basic version. So there's your starting lineups, and we'll go ahead and get going here, and people can just join whenever they like or watch it later, which is what I often do with other channels, just watch them later. So I'll go ahead and flip this around so that we can get going here. Again, this is in basic version, so I got to refresh my memory on how to play these basic version games, because sometimes when you play super advanced, you play advanced, or you play other board games, you can certainly forget. So leading things off for the Cubbies will be Ryne Sandberg, and he'll be facing Whitey Ford. So let's go and put Whitey Ford in the box, and then we'll figure out if Sandberg can do anything. It is a 6-9, and 6-9 is a ground ball shortstop X, so we've got a defensive check right away. There's Derek Jeter. He's a 2. So we'll check Derek Jeter as a 2, and that is a 20. So we'll go to the basic fielding chart for a shortstop. A number 2 and a 20 is an out 3, which is runners on, well, it doesn't really matter because nobody's on base, so it's simply going to be an out as Derek Jeter makes the play, and we are underway as Ryne Sandberg is retired. All right, number 2 hitter in the order will be Anthony Rizzo facing Whitey Ford. We got a 3-6 for Rizzo, and he's going to strike out. So Anthony Rizzo out on strikes, out number 2. Brings up slamming Sammy Sosa. That is a 6-7, so under Whitey Ford. That's a ground ball second base X this time. We had a shortstop X, now it's a second base X. And for the Yankees, it's Tony Push-em-up Lazzeri, and Lazzeri as a second baseman is a 2. So we'll roll for that result. He is a 2-rated second baseman. That's a 6. So as a second baseman, number 2 and a 6, that is also an out. So good play there, 4-3 ground out. And the Cubbies are down in the first inning. So Whitey Ford does his job. Now Jake Arrieta steps into the box for the Cubbies, and he'll be facing leadoff hitter Derek Jeter to start the bottom of the first. Get a 1-11 for Derek Jeter, and a 1-11 is going to be a single for Mr. Jeter. So not what you want if you're Arrieta, because the big boys are coming up. Here comes the 1941 version of Joe DiMaggio. And we get a 6-9. 6-9 for Arrieta is a walk, so that's not good either. The first 2 table setters are on for the big boys, and Lou Gehrig stepping to the plate. So we got Gehrig and Ruth back-to-back, 1927. And we get a 5-8. 5-8 for Arrieta is a strikeout, so he strikes out Lou Gehrig. 1 away. Brings up Babe Ruth. I'll hold off on that D20 till I really need it, I guess. All right, that's a 3-5 for Ruth. 3-5 is a walk, and that's going to load the bases with 1 out. And it brings up Mickey Mantle. He is the DH in today's game. So Mickey, bases loaded and 1 out against Arrieta. It's a 3-9 for the Mick, and that's a strikeout. So Mickey Mantle out on strikes, 2 down. It's up to Roger Maris, his 1961 season. Roger Maris against Arrieta. It's a 2-3 for Maris. 2-3 is a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. So Arrieta pitches out of a bases loaded. Calling it a jam would be an understatement, I guess, but he survived. And we go to the top of the second, and Whitey Ford is right back out there. He'll be facing Ernie Banks to start things off. This is the 1955 version of Ernie, and that's a 6-9. It's a ground ball shortstop X. That's going to be checking Jeter once again, and Jeter is a 2 as a shortstop. And that's a 5. So we check the second baseman. Under the basic fielding chart, a 5 is an out number 3. So Jeter will easily make that play. 1 away, and that brings up Yogi Berra. The Yogi Berra. And this is 1955 also for Yogi Berra. This is a 5-7 against, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong team. This is Chris Bryant, my bad. Yogi wouldn't be facing Whitey Ford. They're battery mates. All right, so Chris Bryant, 5-7. 5-7's a strikeout. So Chris Bryant out on strikes, 2 down. It's the 2016 version of Chris Bryant. Here's Billy Williams, and this is the 1971 version of Billy Williams. It's a 112, and a 112 is going to be a walk. So Billy Williams with a walk, 2-out walk, brings up teammate of his, Ron Santo, although this is the 67 season, not the 71 season, because he had a better year in 67. 1-3. 1-3 is a walk. He just missed a homer, but it is a walk. So back-to-back walks by Whitey. Puts runners at first and second with 2 outs for the catcher, Rick Wilkins. And this is Rick Wilkins' 1993 year. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? This is the 1993 year for Rick Wilkins. It's a 310. 310 is a single. Now we need to see about base running. Billy Williams was the lead runner. He was being held, and he is a 14, but there is a +2 advancement on the 2 outs. So it would make him a 1-16. So I got to refresh my memory here on the basic. I don't think the outfield arm has anything to do with this. I think it's just a 1-16. Let's see here if there's anything about being held. I don't think there is. Just says add 2 is all I see on here. So he was a 1-14, and he is now a 1-16. So it'd be a 1-16 to try to score here and break and put the Cubs in the lead. And it's a 14. He made it. So Billy Williams will score the first run of the game on the RBI single by Rick Wilkins. Cubs lead at 1-0 here in the top of the second. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Rick Monday, and this was his 1973 season. So 1-7, and Rick Monday is going to strike out. So that's going to end the inning. But the Cubs with a surprising 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second. Jake Arrieta was in trouble in the first. He's going to see if he can do better in the second. But he's got to face Yogi Berra, 1955 version. It's a 6-4. 6-4 is a fly ball right field B. So out there in right field with Sosa to make that play. 1 away. Here's Greg Nettles, his 1977 season. And that's a 1-9. 1-9 is going to be a walk to Greg Nettles. Walk to Greg Nettles. So he's aboard for Tony Push-Em-Up Lazzari from the 27 set, which again is why I'm playing this in basic. So that's a 4-5 off of Arrieta, and that is a strikeout. So he couldn't push him up that time. He struck out. Thank you for the confirmation there, Jerry. I thought that was the right way to go. Derek Jeter leading with 2 outs. He's back to the top of the order. 3-8 for Jeter. 3-8 is a strikeout. So Jeter is out on strikes to end the inning. So Arrieta holding his own against this tough Yankee team. And after 2 innings, it is the Cubs 1 and the Yankees 0. Whitey Ford back on the bump to face Ryan Sandberg. We're back at the top of the order. Sandberg grounded to short his first time up. It's a 3-4 for Sandberg, and that's a home run. Ryan Sandberg has just gone yard. This was the 1990 version of Sandberg when he hit 40 home runs, and he just did it right here. Ryan Sandberg has put the Cubs up 2-0 with a solo blast to lead off the top of the third. Brings up Anthony Rizzo. It's a 6-4 off of Whitey Ford. It's a fly to center, and DiMaggio will handle that. 1 away. Sammy Sosa, 2001 version of Sammy. It's a 2-8. 2-8 for Sammy, and he will strike out. So Sammy Sosa with the K. 2 down for Ernie Banks, 1955 variety. It's a 5-7. 5-7 is a strikeout. Whitey Ford struck him out. So after giving up the home run, he comes back and gets the next 3. But the Cubs now have a 2-0 lead Go to the bottom of the third, and Jake Arrieta, enjoying that lead, will be facing Joltin' Joe. Joltin' Joe DiMaggio, he walked his first time up and was stranded. 5-2 for Arrieta as a ground ball back to the pitcher, so Joltin' Joe didn't jolt too much there. That was a easy out. Here's now the murderer's row, Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth back to back. It's a 1-7 for Gehrig, and that's going to be a single. So an easy single there for Lou. And now Babe Ruth represents the tying run. And we get a 2-9. 2-9, and he just tied it, speaking of tying runs. Babe Ruth's column 2 is loaded. He found it. It's a 2-run blast for the Babe. And we are tied at 2. Hello, Juan. How you doing? We are tied at 2, thanks to that Sultan of SWAT Babe Ruth home run. Here's Mickey Mantle. It's a 3-11. 3-11's a fly to right for Mantle, and that's 2 down. And now here is Roger Maris. Maris, a 5-9. 5-9 is a strikeout. So Maris is out of there. But the 2-run homer by Ruth has tied the ball game. We go to the fourth. We're tied at 2. And that'll put Whitey Ford back on the bump now with a tie ball game. He'll be facing the 2016 version of Chris Bryant. And Bryant, his first time up, struck out. It's a 2-4 for Bryant, and that's a ground ball to short. So easy play there for Derek Jeter, and one away. Here's Billy Williams. He had a walk and scored his first time up. 3-2. 3-2 is a foul out to the catcher plus injury, but I'm not using injuries, so we're just going to call it a foul out to Yogi for out number 2. Brings up Ron Santo. Santo, a 4-7 against Whitey. 4-7 is a strikeout, so Whitey struck him out. And the Cubs go in order in the fourth. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, still tied at 2. And Yogi Berra steps to the box to face Jake Arrieta. Berra flew to right his first time up. It's a 5-2 off of Arrieta. It's a ground ball back to the mound again. So Arrieta, an easy play there. Here's Greg Nettles. Nettles walked his last time up and was stranded. 1-6. Well, he's potentially not going to walk this time. A 1-6 is a split chance. If I can get this to focus right. Split chance, 1-7 is a home run. 8-20 is a fly to right. So if it's a 1-7, we got a home run and the Yankees lead. And we do, it's a 5. So Greg Nettles just hit a solo blast, and the Yankees, the Bronx Bombers, are bombing. And they now lead at 3-2. Brings up Tony Push-Em-Up Lazzeri. He struck out his first time up. 4-8. Ground ball shortstop X, that's Ernie Banks. And Ernie Banks as a shortstop is a 2. And that's an 11, so we'll see what happens with that. Shortstop, a 2 and an 11 is an out, number 3. Nobody's on base, so it doesn't matter. It's just a ground out. 2 down. And now we're back to the top of the order for Derek Jeter. 3-3 for Jeter is a ground ball back to Arrieta. He's got a lot of those. And the inning's over, but the Yankees take a lead here, a 3-2 lead, thanks to the Nettles home run. And now we go to the top of the 5th. Whitey Ford, refreshed, now he's got a lead. Going to be facing Rick Wilkins. Wilkins had an RBI single his first time up. 2-8 for Rick Wilkins. 2-8 is a fly ball to right field. So one away for Rick Monday. Rick Monday. 3-8. 3-8 is a walk. So Rick Monday draws a 1-out walk. Takes us back to the top of the order for Ryan Sandberg. Rhino homered his last time up. 2-9. 2-9 for Sandberg. Not this time. That's a 6-4-3 double play on the ground ball shortstop A. So it's a 6-4-3 double play. And the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still Yankees 3 and Cubs 2. Jake Arrieta still trying to keep his team right where they are. He's got to face Joltin' Joe. DiMaggio has walked and grounded back to the pitcher. It's a 2-8. 2-8 for DiMaggio is a ground ball to third. So Ron Santo handled that. Chris Bryant's DHing. Ron Santo took care of that. Here's Gehrig. Singled and scored on the home run by Ruth last time. 4-8. 4-8's a ground ball to short. That's Ernie Banks again. And Ernie Banks is a 2-rated shortstop. And that's a 14. So a 14 with a 2 is an out number 3. Nobody's on base, so it's simply a 6-3 ground out. 2 down. Brings up the Babe. Hit a big 2-run home run his last time up. 4-7. 4-7. This time he'll hit a ground ball to Sandberg. And we'll check Sandberg defensively. He is a 1, as you might expect. So that is a 6. So a 1 and a 6 is an out. And that's going to take care of the Yankees here in the 5th. So we go to the 6th as we move right along here. Play basic, you can go pretty fast, I've found out. So we start the 6th. It'll be Anthony Rizzo. Start off against Whitey Ford. Cubs trail 3-2. It's a 3-10 for Rizzo. And that's a fly ball to center field for Mr. Rizzo. Handled by DiMaggio. 1 away for Sammy Sosa. It's 1-3. He just missed a homer. He does get a walk. So 1, 4, 5, 6, or 7 would have been a home run, but in this case, it's just a walk. I don't know why this is. There we go. It's a walk. 1-3 is a walk for Slam and Sammy. So he will draw the walk. He represents now the tying run for Ernie Banks. So Ernie Banks with a chance. And it's a 3-8 for Ernie Banks. 3-8 is a fly to left. 2 away. And I'll bring up the DH, Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant with a chance. We get a 2-11. 2-11 for Chris Bryant. It's a ground ball to Lazzeri, and that's going to end the inning. Down go the Cubs here in the 6th. So go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 3-2 in favor of the Yankees. Jake Arrieta back on the bump. And Mickey Mantle will lead things off. The Mick, he's 0 for 2. Struck out and fly to right. It's a 4-5. And he's found Arrieta's card every time, which has hurt him. And that's a strikeout. So down he goes again. The Mick not having a good day. Brings up Roger Maris. Maris, a 6-5. And that's a split chance. 1-2 is a triple. Anything else will be a single. So 1-2 is a triple. Anything else is a single. That's a 4. So Roger Maris with a 1-out single. That'll bring up Yogi Berra, the 1955 version of Yogi. And we get a 2-7 for Yogi. And it's a 1 for a triple. Anything else will be a single with 2 stars. So worst case scenario, they got runners on the corners. But it's a 1. Do you believe that? It is a 1. So Yogi Berra has just tripled in. He has just tripled in because that 2-7, if it's a 1, it's a triple. So Yogi Berra plodding around the bases to get a triple. And that will bring in Roger Maris. And the Yankees lead it 4-2. And now the infield is going to have to come in as Greg Nettles is at the plate. And that's a 4-10. 4-10's a fly ball center field X. That's Rick Monday. He's a 2. Could be a sac fly, though. You never know. It's a 19 and a 2. That's an out 5. Run on third scores. So it is a sacrifice fly by Greg Nettles. And that puts the Yankees even further ahead now as they get 2 more insurance runs. It's now 5-2. And with 2 outs, they're going to go ahead and let Arrieta finish the inning. Bases are empty for Lazzeri. Then we'll get the bullpen next inning. 1-4 for Lazzeri is a single. So Lazzeri keeps it going with a single. Brings up Derek Jeter. Jeter, a 2-5, is a strikeout for Jeter. And that's going to end the inning finally. But the Yankees now looking to be comfortably in front, 5-2. There's still 3 innings to go, and the Cubs do have a fairly potent lineup. So Whitey Ford back on the bump will be facing Billy Williams to start things off. And we get a 2-6 for Billy Williams, and that's a leadoff single for Billy Williams. So the Cubs trying to make a rally here, and it's Ron Santo. Ron Santo, a 2-7 for Santo. However, 2-7 is going to be a 5-4-3 double play, and that will kill whatever rally they thought they might have. 2 quick outs. Brings up Rick Wilkins, the catcher. And we get a 6-7 against Whitey. That's a ground ball second base X. That's Lazari. He is a 2-rated second baseman. So as a 2-rated second baseman, probably will make the play, but you never know. It's a 6. So a 2 and a 6 is an out number 3, and that will do it for the Cubbies here in the 7th. 7th inning stretch time, and the Cubbies are going to go to their bullpen. So they're going to go to the bullpen, see who they're going to bring on. They are going to go to the 2015 version of Hector Rondon. His 2015 version of Hector Rondon. He was 6-4, the 1.67 ERA and 30 saves. So they're going to try and see if Rondon can keep the Yankees right where they are. He'll be starting out facing not a enviable position to be in, facing DiMaggio, Gehrig, and Ruth. What a way to come into a game. 4-9. 4-9 is a strikeout. So Rendon puts the whiff on DiMaggio. 1 away. Here's Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig, a 6-7. Rondon, ground ball second base X. That's Sandberg. He is a 1. And that will, as a 1-rated second baseman, you're never going to have, well, you can have an error if it's a 17. That's about the only way. It's a 15. And a 15 simply is an out, number 3. So it's a 4-3 ground out. 2 down for Babe Ruth. And that's a 2-11. That's bad news to be in Babe Ruth's number 2 column, but he just misses this home run. The 11 is a ground ball to short. So Hector Rondon pitches a 1-2-3 inning. Keeps the Yankees right where they are. And now Whitey Ford back on the bump. Although the Yankee bullpen is loosening, they do have a couple of guys down there. Louis Arroyo is down there. And they also have Sparky Lyle. So a couple of lefties are down there. Here's Rick Monday. Lead things off for the Cubbies here in the 8th. It's a 6-4. 6-4 is a fly ball center field. And there's 1 away as DiMaggio puts it away. 1 center fielder flying to another. Here's Ryan Sandberg. 5-11. 5-11 is a 1 for a single. Anything else, he will line it to Lou Gehrig. That's a line out to Lou Gehrig for out number 2. Cubs running out of outs. Here's Anthony Rizzo. It's a 1-9 for Rizzo, and that's a walk. So Rizzo keeps it going with a 2-out walk, and it brings up Sammy Sosa. He can certainly get the Cubbies right back in this with a blast. It's a 3-8. 3-8, but Sammy Sosa on a 3-8 is going to strike out, and that's going to end the top of the 8th. So nothing doing there. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Rondon will be in for a second inning of work, although Lee Smith is loosening in the bullpen in case he's needed. Mickey Mantle starting things off. He's had a rough day. He's 0 for 3 with 2 Ks because he's been off the pitcher card all the time. 4-7. 4-7. This time he's got a good chance. 1-16 for a single. And 17-20 is a line out. And he gets a 17, so go figure. So he lines out to Anthony Rizzo for out number 1. Just not the mixed night. Brings up Roger Maris. Roger Maris, a 6-6. 6-6 is a fly ball to left, and that's out number 2. 2 down, and Yogi Berra the batter. So Rondon doing well in relief. He's retired all 5 Yankees in order. 5-6 is a strikeout, and he strikes out Berra. So he went through all 6 Yankee batters, no problem. 2 perfect innings. Gives his team a chance anyway. And now we go to the top of the 9th, and we're going to get a new pitcher in for the Yankees. It's going to be little Louis Arroyo. In 1961, he was 15-5, 2.19 ERA, and 29 saves. So Louis Arroyo is going to take over for Whitey Ford, try to wrap this up for him and for the Yankees and move them into the winner's bracket of the tournament and put the Cubs in the loser's bracket. We'll see how that goes. He's got to start out facing Ernie Banks. So Ernie Banks steps to the plate against Arroyo. It's a 2-8 for Ernie. 2-8's a ground ball to third, and there's one away as Nettles retires him easily. Brings up the DH, Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant at 2-10. 2-10 for Chris Bryant is a fly to center. That's DiMaggio's territory. 2 away. Now it's all up to Billy Williams. Last chance, Billy Williams. That's a 3-6 for Billy Williams. And a 3-6, a 1 is a home run. Anything else and the ball game will be over. So he's got to get a 1 here or else he will fly to Maris. It's an 8, so it's a fly out to Maris, and the ball game is over. The Yankees defeat the Cubs by the final score of 5-2. Winning pitcher was Whitey Ford. Loser was Jake Arrieta. And Luis Arroyo gets the save. Big hero in the game. You could say it was, Babe Ruth had a 2-run homer. Nettles had a home run and a sacrifice fly. So a lot of guys are potentially in line for that. Let's go to our bracket. If I can find my bracket. Now I think it's under my score sheet. Yeah, here it is. So let me pull that out. And we'll look at the bracket the way it sets up now that the Yankees have won. We'll fill in the, let's see here, the loser. Loser of that one goes there. Let's see here, L1. This little bracket thing here is not very easy to see. We know the Yankees advance, so that part's easy. It's just a matter of where to put the Cubs. And I think the Cubs will go here. Hopefully I'm doing that right. Like I said, the print's very hard to see. But basically, the Yankees defeat the Cubs, go to the winner's bracket. And the Cubs drop down here to the loser's bracket. And the next game in the schedule is the number 8 seed against the number 9 seed, the Milwaukee/Atlanta Braves. Maybe even the Boston Braves. I don't know if I have anything back that far. I think it's just Milwaukee and Atlanta against the Detroit Tigers. And without knowing off the top of my head, I'm thinking this is going to be a Warren Spahn against let's see here, maybe Schoolboy Rowe. I'll have to double check that and see who's going to be the starter. But anyway, the Yankees advance by a score of 5-2. Certainly Mike Whitey Ford pitching 8 innings, only allowing 2 runs. That certainly is a definite candidate for MVP as well. Could give it to several. But anyway, that's the first round, or first game in the first round, I should say. And the tournament is now officially underway. I'm not going to do a lot of videos on this because I don't get a chance to do many videos. So a lot of this will be played offline, and I'll probably maybe do a recap video of some sort to tell everybody how it's going. But I did want to at least play the initial game online. I thought that would be appropriate to do. And like I said, I've got the little labels here for Yankee Bats. So hopefully that's not a copyright infringement on APA. I don't know. I'm not making any money off of this or selling anything, so I guess that really wouldn't matter one way or the other. I guess I could call it what I want. But so now the Cubbies are behind the 8 ball, and they're going to be playing the loser of the Braves and Tigers ball game next time. So behooves the Cubs to, and they've already shot their best player, which is, well, Al, if you just joined us and you don't know who won, I won't tell you. I'll let you go back and watch it. I don't want to spoil it for you. But it is the Yankee Bats Cubs against the Yankee Bats the Strat Bats Cubs against the Strat Yankee Bats. So Strat Bats Yankees, I guess, is the official way to do it. So Arrieta is gone now for the Cubs, and the one rule in this tournament is that the starting pitcher has to take at least 1 round off before he can come back. So Arrieta and Ford will both have to be rested in their next game. So I think on the Cubs, they're going to use Rick Sutcliffe's 1984 season, where he went 16-1. They're going to bring him on. And for the Yankees, it's a good question for the Yankees. They've got some, Will C. Moore back in the 27 had a really good card. 19-7 with a 2.28. How did I rate the teams? Basically, I just took what I thought would be the better teams and gave them the higher ranking. So I certainly thought the Yankees, with all their Hall of Famers, would be the #1 seed. And the Cubs are, they had some good players, but not anybody that knocks your socks off. So that's why I called or rated them to be the 16 seed. In case somebody missed it in the beginning, this is what I put up in the beginning of the video to show the lineups for both teams, so that you can and the years of the card sets that I pulled. I took whatever I thought was their best year and included them. So, and that's why I'm playing in basic, because I wanted to use the 1927 set, and that's only in basic. So that's why I'm playing this game in the basic format. So I'm also, trying to finish up the History Maker Atlanta Braves season. I don't want to get distracted too much off of that, because I'm in the home stretch on that, and I really want to finish it. Just give you a preview of the Tigers and the Braves. I'll show you the lineups, or not the lineups, but the rosters that were pulled for those two teams. So for the Tigers, this is the lineup, or the roster I chose for the Tigers. See, we're going to have catching either Mickey Cochran or Lance Parrish. We have Norm Cash, Hank Greenberg, Lou Whitaker, Charlie Gehringer, Alan Trammell, Harvey Keene, Miguel Cabrera, Don Wirt, Al Kaline, Kirk Gibson, Ty Cobb, Rocky Colavito, Ron LaFleur, and Willie Horton. And then pitching, we got Schoolboy Rowe, Denny McLean, Mickey Lolich, Frank Larry, George Mullen from the '09 set, and then Jack Morris of '86, and then Justin Verlander of 2011. So a lot of good choices there as a starter. Bullpen, John Hiller, Fred Gladding, Willie Hernandez, and Aurelio Lopez. And for the Atlanta/Milwaukee Braves, we'll find their team page. And we have for them catching Del Crandall and Javi Lopez, Joe Adcock and Freddie Freeman at first. And I want to make sure every position has two players. That's why I'm doing this. That's why somebody like Glenn Hubbard made the list, because I really couldn't think of another second baseman other than Marcus Giles that was any good for Atlanta. So we're putting Glenn Hubbard there. Somebody asked earlier about Davey Johnson, because he had that big home run year in '73. But Davey Johnson really, most of his career is with the Orioles, so I felt like he was an Oriole, and so I played him for the Orioles, not for the Braves. And nobody's playing on more than one team. All right, so we got Johnny Logan and Raphael for a call at short. We got Bob Horner and Eddie Matthews at third, along with Chipper Jones. So I got three choices there. I didn't want to leave out any of those three, so I wanted to include all of them. I'm sure one of them might DH. We got Darrell Evans, Ralph Garr, David Justice, Hank Aaron, Dale Murphy, and Andrew Jones in the outfield. And pitching, we got Steve Avery, Tom Glavine, Warren Spahn, Phil Niekro, John Smoltz. The bullpen is Cecil Upshaw, Gene Garber, Mike Stanton, and Craig Kimbrell. So those are the rosters there. I'll make up the lineup later on. Try to make up the most realistic, best fit lineup I can. But that's the way it is. And that's how the first game in round one went. Anybody coming in late, if you want to go back and watch the whole thing, I won't spoil it for you. I won't do a recap of who won. I'll just leave it out there for you guys to go back and watch at your leisure. And be sure to check out the Earls on Tabletop Baseball, because they've got a lot of things going, a lot of variety. And also be sure to check out Strat Delaware as well as Espo, because they always got something going on over there. But this game was the Strat B.A.T.S Cubs against the Strat B.A.T.S Yankees. And next time it'll be the Braves and the Tigers. Like I said, I probably won't do a whole lot of videos on this one unless I get a really, really, really intriguing matchup that I just can't not put a video on. So Friday night I'll probably do some kind of video, or Friday around this time. Don't know what it'll be yet. I'll probably save what I think is the best game for that. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I need to get out there tonight and play another game of the '87 Braves History Makers, so I can get that season wrapped up and move on to bigger and better things. Let's see here. There we go. turn that around so at least you're not looking at the wall. Not that you want to see me. But anyway, I want to say hello to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm getting ready to leave work now. I think the traffic has died down by now, so I can get ready to go. And until next time, I will see you all down the road.